Believe it or not, Subaru has the highest average customer credit score of any mass market auto brand. And that includes expensive luxury marques like BMW, Lexus, and Mercedes. That means the typical Subaru owner is the kind of button-up individual that's never had a library fine for an overdue book or been clipped for doing 20 over the speed limit. Today we'll be driving Subarus, but not nearly as responsibly as the brand's reputation would suggest. Hi, I'm Drew Johnson, and we're here in Eagle River, Wisconsin, where we're driving Subaru WRX and BRZs on an ice track carved out of a frozen lake. Subaru is famous for its symmetrical all-wheel drive, but today we start with this, the BRZ, which has the distinction of being Subaru's only two-wheel drive vehicle. More specifically, the BRZ is rear-wheel drive, which is great for driving dynamics, but not so great for driving on slippery stuff, like this giant ice track behind me. This should be fun.
3, 2, 1,
go. The BRZ isn't the most powerful sports car in the world with only 205 horsepower, but out here, it doesn't much matter. You could have 200 or 2,000 and you probably slide around just the same. And this car has even been fitted with special lappy tires made in Sweden and imported just for this event. Sweden. Now, in the BRZ, if you give it too much steering angle or too much throttle at the wrong time, you're going to spin off. But man, if you get it right, this car is an absolute riot in the snow. Whee! Woo!
Obviously, the BRZ isn't an ideal rally car since it's rear-wheel drive, but its low center of gravity and lack of body roll also hurt its rally car credentials. Contrary to road racing, you want a rally car to dip and roll a bit as you transition through the corners in order to help with weight transfer. The BRZ simply doesn't do that. But while not an ideal rally car, the BRZ is just about as perfect a drift car as you could design for the ice. With proper throttle modulation, the BRZ will hold an opposite lock slide to your heart's content.
Now that we've warmed up in the tail-happy BRZ, it's time to move on to this, the Subaru WRX, which was born from rally racing and designed specifically for conditions like these. Let's see if that DNA can make even an amateur driver like me look like a pro. Whereas the BRZ is a bit down on power, this Subaru WRX STI is anything but. We've got over 300 horsepower from a turbocharged engine, and of course this is all-wheel drive, and the same kind of grippy, studded tires I had on the BRZ. Now the BRZ is actually a little bit easier to grab by the scruff of the neck and ring around corners. With this, the all-wheel drive system tends to understeer and push through corners a little bit. You have to really brake to get the tail end to come out, and then you just gotta trust the power is gonna be there with the all-wheel drive to pull you out. It's harder to look like a drift hero in this, but once you get it right, it is just as good.
Despite its all-wheel drive and turbocharged engine, you really do have to work harder in the STI than the BRZ. You can pretty much get the tail end of the BRZ to step out at any time with a stab of the gas, but that's not the case in the STI. If you want to perform the perfect rally drift, you have to brake harder and deeper into a corner than would be typical on a paved track. It's only when you upset the chassis that the STI will start sliding sideways. Then it's a matter of applying power, pointing the wheel in the right direction, and relying on the all-wheel drive to pull you through the rest of the corner. It's an unnatural feeling at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's clear why the STI is a rallying staple.
So there you have it, two very different Subarus that are very fun to drive on a slippery track. The WRX is obviously the better winter vehicle of the two thanks to its all-wheel drive, but the BRZ had some winter drivability as long as you can exercise some driver control. We doubt many Subaru owners and their 830 credit score will ever hoon like this, but at least now they know they can. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like. All right, seatbelts.
Nate says you're clear, you're clear.
Good, all right.